Welcome to our space of hope and inspiration, where faith is ignited and the Word of God meets us right where we are. Thank you for being here and for allowing us to walk with you. 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. Imagine for a moment that you are alone, in silence, your gaze fixed on a point in the distance. You aren't crying, but you feel that knot in your chest that makes it hard to breathe. That feeling of something squeezing you from the inside, and you can't even explain exactly what it is. It's not just physical exhaustion. It's that kind of weariness that seeps into your thoughts, into your bones, into your hope. That silent anxiety that doesn't scream, but says it all. And right there, when it seems like no one sees you, when you yourself are wondering if you can handle so much, a promise appears. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. And perhaps the first reaction is to think, yes, it sounds nice. But how do you do that? How do you cast your anxiety on God when your heart is racing a mile a minute? How do you surrender something you can't even fully understand? Perhaps it's not about a perfect act, but a human gesture. Perhaps casting your anxiety on Him isn't a long prayer, nor a faith without doubts. Perhaps it's simply saying, God, I can't take it anymore. Help me breathe. There are days when your mind won't shut off. You wake up and you're already thinking about everything that's missing, everything that could go wrong, everything you can't control. Your body is present, but your soul runs, trots, flees. And meanwhile, life passes by without pause. But today I want you to listen to this with an open heart. You do not need to have everything under control for God to sustain you. In fact, His specialty is taking charge precisely when you can't. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Andres. He worked long hours, always with a smile on the outside, but with a turmoil inside. His anxiety was like a shadow that followed him everywhere. He wasn't sleeping well, he ate without appetite, and he spoke little. One day, his young daughter asked him, "Dad, why do you frown when you're quiet?" He didn't know how to answer, and that question broke him a little. He realized that his anxiety wasn't just consuming him, but was robbing him of his presence with those he loved. One night, after a particularly difficult day, Andres went out to the patio. The sky was clear, and for the first time in months, he dared to speak to God. It wasn't an elegant or long prayer. He simply said, "I don't know how to go on, but here is my burden. If you truly care for me, teach me to let go." And nothing magical happened. The sky didn't light up. He didn't feel fire in his chest. But something did change. The next day, his breathing was a little slower. His frown relaxed a little. And that small difference was the beginning of his healing. But science and faith intersect at an interesting point. Letting go isn't passivity. It's an active exercise in trust. Studies show that when we share our worries with someone we trust, whether a person, a therapist, or for many, a spiritual belief, our brain releases oxytocin, a hormone that reduces stress. Andres decided to try it. It wasn't sudden, it wasn't magic, but every night, before going to sleep, he began to speak aloud, as if someone were listening. Here's my fear of losing my job. Here's my guilt for not playing with the children. Here's my worry about the future. He wasn't expecting answers, just relief. And little by little, he began to feel it, because that's how God works. Not always with thunder or visible miracles, but with small reliefs that accumulate until one day, you realize you're not as overwhelmed as before. Look, anxiety isn't just about nerves. Sometimes it's the reflection of a soul that hasn't let go of control. We want to have an answer for everything, to make sure nothing goes off plan. But faith, in its purest form, is surrender. It's saying, I don't understand, but I trust that you are here. And even if the mind keeps racing, even if the heart remains restless, God hears that as a genuine offering. Sometimes we think that letting go means surrendering. But in God's language, letting go is trusting. It's handing over the invisible backpack we carry, full of fear, expectations, and wounds, and saying, "This weighs more than I can carry." Because you weren't designed to carry it all alone. You were designed to walk alongside others. You know, anxiety has a cruel trick. It makes you believe you're alone, that no one understands, that no one can help you. But that's a lie. The truth is that even in the darkest moments, there is a God who watches with tenderness, not judgment, who sees your tears and doesn't despise them, who hears your thoughts, even the most chaotic ones, and doesn't turn away. He doesn't expect you to speak to him with perfect words. He's just waiting for you to talk to him. Imagine you could put all your fears in a box. The fear of failing, of losing, of disappointing, of not being enough. And then you give that box to God. What do you think he would do with it? He wouldn't hide it or ignore it. He would transform it. Because that's what he does with what we give him. He turns it into growth, purpose, and testimony. Sometimes God doesn't take the weight away immediately, but he does strengthen your shoulders. Sometimes he doesn't stop the storm, but he teaches you how to navigate it. Because more important than calm is knowing who is with you in the boat. If you're going through a time when you feel like everything is falling apart, I want to remind you of something. Your anxiety doesn't make you less spiritual. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less of a child of God. It makes you human. And in your humanity, God is glorified, because when you can't go on, he shows himself to be even stronger. Jesus knew what it was like to feel anguish. In Gethsemane, before going to the cross, his soul was so burdened that he sweated drops of blood. And yet, his prayer wasn't, "Take this away from me, but thy will be done." That doesn't mean resignation. It means trust. It means, "God, even though I don't understand, I know you are here." Every time you choose to take a deep breath and say, "I trust in you." In the midst of uncertainty, your soul is preaching without words. You are casting your anxiety on him, even if you don't realize it. Anxiety often doesn't disappear all at once, but it begins to lose its power when we stop feeding it with fear and begin to face it with faith. When you stop asking yourself, "What if everything goes wrong?" and start asking yourself, "What if everything goes right?" When you understand that you don't need to control tomorrow to have peace today. There is something beautiful in learning to live one day at a time, in understanding that the present, with all its imperfections, is enough to see God's hand. Life isn't about eliminating the waves, but about trusting the one who walks on them. If today you feel tired, insecure, or simply lost, I want you to know this. Your story doesn't end here. It doesn't matter how many times you felt fear take over. Every sunrise is a new opportunity to let go a little more, to trust a little more, to rest a little more in him. And when you can't pray, when words catch in your throat, just breathe and think, "He cares for me." That phrase is more powerful than you can imagine. Repeated with faith, it can become an anchor for your mind. God hasn't forgotten you. He isn't distant. He isn't waiting for you to be stronger to help you. He is near right now, taking care of details you don't even notice. The coincidences that seem small are, in reality, signs of his faithfulness. So today, I invite you to do something. Breathe, let go, trust. It may be difficult, but not impossible. You don't need to understand how. Just take the step. God can carry what you can't. He doesn't ask you to pretend you're okay. He simply asks you not to walk alone. And if you're looking for a space where you can nurture that faith, where you can find peace and meaning, I want to invite you to the Gokrip channel. It's a space for those who seek more than words. They seek presence, truth, and hope. Every video, every prayer, every reflection is designed to remind you that you're not alone, that your story matters, and that God still writes beautiful chapters in the midst of chaos. Because yes, there are days when anxiety screams louder than faith. But even so, the promise remains. He cares for you. And that means you can rest. You can let go. You can start again. So, the next time your heart trembles, remember this. You don't have to overcome anxiety alone. You just have to surrender it, because there is a God who never tires of caring for you. And while you take small steps, He takes care of the rest. And when you forget, because we all do, come back, listen, pray, and let the peace that surpasses all understanding embrace you again. God is still there, holding you. He always has been. He always will be. And in that simple act of faith, when you let go of fear and choose to trust, anxiety transforms into something else, into testimony, into strength, into light. Because when you learn to rest in Him, your life shines. And without realizing it, you also become a refuge for others who need to know that there is still hope. Now, let's take a lighter turn. Imagine we're in an imaginary coffee shop. I'll buy you a coffee, or a tea if you prefer, and while we're drinking, I'll tell you a couple of bad jokes to break the ice. What does one traffic light say to another? "Don't look at me, I'm changing." Or, "Why did the astronaut break up with his girlfriend?" "Because he needed space." Yes, I know I'm no comedian, but I hope it makes you smile. The point is that life doesn't always have to be heavy. Sometimes a little humor, a pause, can be the breather you need to keep going. Let's talk about something practical now. I suggest an exercise you can do this week. Each day, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. It could be the taste of your favorite food, a call from a friend, or simply that the sun came out today. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice the good, and that, combined with letting go of your anxiety, as 1 Peter 5:7 says, can be a powerful combination. Try it and let me know what happens, okay? If this message touched your heart, like it. Help others find it. Subscribe to Gokrip. It doesn't just inspire, it transforms. Leave your prayer in the comments. We're praying for you. You're not alone.